Do you have a mini panic when the phone rings? You'd rather want them to send an email, but they're calling? Most people would pick a text or an email over a phone call any day. Let's talk about what your brain is actually doing in that moment and why it feels harder to pick up the phone than it should. And I'm going to give you one tool at the end that makes this feel easier instantly. If you don't know me, my name is Francie. I studied psychology. I break down research into simple, practical tools you can actually use, and I share things like this every day. It's not just you. There's a real pattern behind this, and it's called telephobia. Anxiety around making or answering phone calls. A new study in medical students found that just the idea of an incoming call can trigger stress reactions, and that it isn't uncommon in younger adults who have grown up texting and messaging more than talking on the phone. Part of the reason is simple. When you text, you can think, edit, and prepare your response. On a call, you don't get that. You can't see the other person's face and read their expression. You can't pause a conversation mid-sentence and think, what do I say next? You're just thrown into it, and this creates performance pressure. Your nervous system shifts into alert mode, and your brain has to guess what the other person is feeling based on only their voice. The absence of visual information forces your brain to fill in the gaps, and in people who struggle with social anxiety or internal judgment, this can become very stressful. However, the anticipation of the call is often worse than the call itself. In therapy, this pattern is well documented. You know the call is coming, you start imagining all the ways it could go wrong, and each imagined scenario creates stress before you even pick up. But ironically, people spend more time suffering leading up to the call than they do during the call itself. And most calls are actually manageable once they start. So what you can do is practice predictability and regulate your nervous system first. Give yourself one simple phrase that you can always say when you answer a call. Say this sentence to yourself mentally just before picking up the phone. This gives your brain one known element to focus on, which instantly reduces some of the performance pressure your nervous system was building up. It doesn't eliminate the anxiety completely, but it feels more like a task you can handle with less stress. If you like this, follow for more psychology tips you can actually use in everyday life.